Hey GoBuddies fans, it is August 29th, 2009, and I am Sonicsuns. This is my amazing cat named Jiji. I may or may not have other pets, which I may or may not be introducing in subsequent videos. In other news, LT, you made a video about... frick, don't bite me. LT, you made a video chronicling your recent game of Go against the computer. Interesting, and I think we really need to get around to setting that part where you and I actually play Go, and I'm working on it. I'm gonna get around to it. Yeah, Jiji likes to snuggle. We've also introduced a few new faces on GoBuddies, aside from Jiji here. There's my friend Mittens, who did his video about hot chocolate, and then there's another video, which had two new people. There was TyGirl17 and Crimson Queso. I'm looking at the cat here. And they were both part of the same video, even though they talked about entirely different topics. And the video didn't appear for a while because my thing was glitching on the computer, and so I couldn't make it work right, but it's there. It's actually got posted before your recent video, LT, and then it showed up after you posted. So now, back in time, it retroactively exists before your thing about Go. And I'm thinking this is a pretty interesting idea. You know, how many other people do you or I, whomever, know that might want to participate in GoBuddies? A friend of mine was asking, so how many GoBuddies people do you think you're eventually going to have? And I was like, well, maybe eventually we could have 81. And then that would make sense why this thing is called GoBuddies 81. Yeah, because it turns out the GoBuddies YouTube channel is not taken. But the GoBuddies on Google Gmail, I think, was taken. And then I thought that it had to be called the same thing, so I made it GoBuddies 81. Whatever. Look at the little kitty. In other news, I am writing a book. I haven't mentioned this on GoBuddies yet, but I have mentioned it on my Sonicsuns channel. LT, you've seen a little bit of it. It's called Tales of Udo the Wanderer. That's spelled E-U-D-O. And it is a fantasy story. And it is a thing that I'm trying to create. Perhaps once I create it, I'll be more confident in how I summarize it. But I had a little tagline on my WordPress blog that was a tale of magic, tyranny, and the human heart. Or potentially I wrote a story of magic, whatever. So I've just noticed that this Scooby-Doo thing was behind me the whole time. I'm not actually advertising for Scooby-Doo, you know. I mean, it's alright, but the plots are kind of derivative. Anyway, apparently I'm also advertising for GameCube's Fish and London. But anyway, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a story. I'm writing a thing that may eventually be like a movie or something. That'd be cool. I have a lot of ideas. I mentioned this before. I think I've mentioned this before. I have a lot of ideas for a lot of stories, and this is one I'm working on for a while. Like, I guess most things I do, I work on for a while. I just turn them around in my head. And in the last few weeks, I've gotten a little bit of momentum on this. I've written a few things, so my total count now is about 40 or 50 pages. I've got, as I mentioned a moment ago, a blog up on WordPress, which is got all the stuff, well, not all the stuff. I've got, a good chunk of the stuff I've written. I'll be posting more stuff. I'll be writing more stuff. I've gotten a couple comments on there, and other people have told me this is cool, which is really, really cool to hear people think that they like it, and that, I'm trailing off now. And I also, with regards to that book, have a potentially awesome announcement to make. There's a certain Richard A. Knaak, that's spelled K-N-A-A-K, whom apparently is very well known for being a New York Times best-selling author. I did not know this. I didn't know he was an author of some sort. Because I have connections, know someone who knows someone, and my incredible privacy concerns are preventing me from saying it out loud. That probably doesn't matter. Anyway, I know someone who knows Richard A. Knaak. He used to be called Rick. And that someone contacted him for me, and I was like, cool, some author has been contacted. Maybe they'll help. And then, eventually, Mr. Knaak wrote back, ooh, that rhymes, and said that he will consider looking at my stuff. And I was like, cool. And then I found out he was a New York Times best-selling author, as opposed to just some random author. And I was like, oh, this could be interesting. As a matter of fact, this could potentially be amazing. Now, I'm sort of like holding back for a moment here, because I'm like, well, I don't know if he'll like it, and the chapter or whatever that was sent to him I wrote it back in high school, it may not be up to his standards, and, I don't know, it's like what happens, what do you get when an author is contacting you, even if it's a famous author, like, are you famous, like, and you're going to get me a publishing deal, or famous, like, that looks cool, kid, goodbye. I don't know. In fact, even just saying that looks cool, goodbye, would be really, really neat because of those first 3 words. The bad scenario would be like, no, I don't think you're a good author, just go away. I don't know. I don't even know how long it'll be before he actually looks at the stuff, because he might be busy or something. He gave no timetable, but he said he would at least look at some of the stuff that I've written. And potentially this could be a very big deal for me, and then I could actually finish writing the book and then publish it, and then amazing things could happen. But I don't really know. And Jiji doesn't really seem to care. If you'd like to read some of the stuff that I've written, you can see it up online. It's yudothewanderer.wordpress.com, or you can just go to the link I imagine I put up in the sidebar. And hopefully you like it. You could leave a comment or something and tell me if I made any spelling mistakes, because I'd sort of like to correct those before Mr. Knaak comes by and sort of things. And yeah, New York Times bestselling author. Yeah, this could be cool. So, to everybody out there, including potentially Mr. Knaak, thanks for watching. See you later.